एक फर्स्ट जनरेशन लॉयर, जिसके घर में कभी कोई वकील नहीं रहा, कभी कोई जज नहीं रहा, जिसने अपनी ज़िंदगी की शुरुआत की 850 रुपये मासिक के सेल्समैन के पद से, उस शख्स का नाम है जो इलाहाबाद विश्वविद्यालय से पढ़े हैं, हमारे यूनियन क्रिश्चियन कॉलेज से पढ़े हैं, मेरे ही कॉलेज के जो छात्र रहे हैं, उनका नाम है ऑनरेबल फॉर्मर चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया जीवी पटनायक सर। जीवी पटनायक सर से मिलने का कारण ये था कि मैं अपने लॉ लर्निंग बेंच से जुड़े हुए लोगों को, नए अधिवक्ताओं को ये बताना चाहता था कि एक फर्स्ट जनरेशन लॉयर जिसने अपनी ज़िंदगी की शुरुआत सेल्समैन के रूप में की, फिर उन्हें वकालत किया और फिर वो उड़ीसा हाई कोर्ट के जज बने और लास्ट में वो चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया बने। तो वो बताएंगे कि कोर्ट क्राफ्ट क्या है, फॉर्मर चीफ जस्टिस बताएंगे प्रिंटिंग कैसे की जाती है। तो मैं युवा अधिवक्ताओं को ये बात उनके मुंह से सुनवा रहा हूँ जो कभी फर्स्ट जनरेशन लॉयर रहे थे। आइए लेके चलते हैं फॉर्मर चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया, फॉर्मर चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया जीवी पटनायक सर के घर पे। सर, वी ऑल आर हियर just to take your blessings, sirs, because you are inspiration for all the young generation lawyers, especially first generation lawyers, sir. I go through profile, sir, and I am the part of the Supreme Court. I am practicing advocate there. When I came to know that you are the first generation lawyer, and without any source, without any resources, without any reference, sir, you are the most brilliant advocate of the Supreme Court of India, sir.
Thank you.
I go through. So kindly, since you are a first generation lawyer, kindly give me some blessings, sirs, and message.
Well, I have gone through your papers, and I definitely subscribe to your ideas to make the lawyers in the distant places able to represent their client's case before the highest court of law. The problem are many, but in the present scenario, when we have e-courts all through the country, the basic idea was that a lawyer in some district mafassil court can also represent his client in the highest court of land. Because it is unimaginable for a client of a distant place, particularly a poor man, to represent himself or herself in the Supreme Court, taking into account the fees they charge these days.
Yes, sir. Correct.
That is one of the main reasons which these e-courts can possibly able to advise, able to satisfy. But the ways of practice in different courts vary from court to court. You see, I am a first generation lawyer, and if I recollect those days, I never studied law to become a lawyer. My father had retired from government service.
Oh.
I wanted some good job to sustain my family. At that time, my uncle had said that you study law, I will put you into a company. So I studied law for 2 years and then applied for many companies. I got a job way back in 1959 as a sales representative in Burma Cell in Calcutta.
Oh, you are sales representative there?
Sales representative in Burma Cell.
Burma Cell?
Burma Cell, that's an oil company.
Oh my God.
And with a salary of 850 and posting at Calcutta.
So your first salary is only 850?
No, I never joined. Just listen. I never joined that job because an well-wisher whom I told, I was then really in those days IAS people are getting 450 rupees. And when I found I have got a job of 850 rupees,
yes.
And naturally my whole family became elected. So a very old gentleman, a former judge of the Orissa High Court, well, sir, I told him that, sir, I have got this job. He told me one thing, it is nice, you will earn money, but tell me what is the difference between a salesman who sells cloth in the local cloth shop and you as a sales representative. He is selling cloth by standing You will sell oil in your car from moving from the, that hurt my sentiment, my ego. Even though I had no alternative at that point of time, it was a very difficult decision. I decided I will join the bar. Either I will survive or I will get punished. But to my luck, I survived.
Right.
That is my journey. And so therefore, two or three main things which had helped me in life is, from my childhood I had a very instinct to take part in debates in Oriya or in English. So even in the school, when I got the highest mark in all the 8 classes in English. So I had a
So your
habit of
English medium
reading English newspaper, even in those days. Editorial of Statesman I was very, very much reading. And but becoming a first generation lawyer, it was very difficult. And one thing that helped me really, I became a state counsel when I was hardly 37 years old. And as a state counsel, I was representing the state government in the Supreme Court. So for 6-7 years, right from 77 till 82, I was regularly, because the Advocate General was not coming. So I was representing the state, and all the miscellaneous days, Monday and Friday, I used to handle state's miscellaneous matters on those days.
In which court, sir?
In the Supreme Court.
Acha, in Supreme Court.
And that helped me in knowing the way the Supreme Court practices go on, and how, because with 80 briefs, they would in 1 minute either they will issue notice or will dismiss, and mostly they are dismissing.
Mostly hard dismiss, hard dismiss.
95, when I came to the Supreme Court and sat with Justice Kuldeep Singh, out of 83 matters on board on the very first day, it was only on my intervention he granted, he issued notice in 6 matters. Otherwise, you would have zero. He said there are huge backlog. But that's not the reason that you will dismiss the.
In those days, I remember you are very popular among the young lawyers.
And that was my.
You are very kind to even small lawyers.
Habit. If a senior lawyer is not available, a junior used to say that my senior wants time. I said, no, you get ready, you argue, I will help you. That was in the High Court, that was also in the Supreme Court. And you see, those days the seniors were also different. I was attached for 10 years as junior to 2 different lawyers who have taught me like their own son. One petition, first day, one petition for substitution under Order 22, Rule 4, 5 CPC, I have drafted 8 times. Can you imagine?
8 times.
8 times. The senior lawyer used to correct, then I will rewrite. He said, look at your book and then tell, then write.
In those days, seniors are also very nice, sir.
Now it is not possible also. I don't blame the senior, but that mentality to teach the juniors, I don't think any senior these days. You have to learn yourself.
Yes.
So this is the time when lawyers must endeavor themselves. And I can assure any junior lawyers that if they are sincere, if they are honest, and if they observe legal ethics, they won't starve. They will definitely maintain them. One may not reach the stage of Nariman or Venugopal, but they will never starve. In our days, people are starving. I have seen lawyers, people are starving. A very neighbor of mine in Katak, where I was practicing, he used to ask me 8 annas. Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
And unless I
8 annas?
8 annas, unless I pay him, he can't get fuel for his cooking. So that was this. And those days, even practicing was very difficult. I remember burning midnight oil just to find one decision. The yearly digest, monthly digest, this computer. Today you put on a computer, secretary will give you this whatever decision you want. So it has become, and then there has been so many diversification. It's today in bigger places like Delhi or Calcutta, if you are expert in one branch, any branch, whether it's telecom, whether it's electricity, whether it's environment, whether it is internal property, whether it is international law, any branch, you will, if you come to the limelight, then you earn enough. Law has become very, and it is very good to learn and hear. Nowadays, many bright people are interested in joining the legal profession, but most of them are not coming to litigation. They are joining some good firms and some solicitor firms.
Tier 1 firm, Tier 2
drafting.
firm, boutique law firm.
But not, that is a different thing. That is particularly something like a job.
Yes.
You start your career with 1 lakh per month. Or maybe if you are lucky enough, you may have 2 lakhs per month.
Yes.
But in the profession, if you can't expect unless your grandfather or father is a lawyer, you are in the same office. It is very just difficult. You will have to start from the scratch. I started from the scratch. I got a second-hand motor car after 15 years of practice. Can you conceive that today? Today everybody is a lawyer. Tomorrow you go to a bank, get money and get a car. So time has changed.
At that time, office to obtain a own office, own staff, that is also very difficult.
Very difficult.
Many people started their career from the scooter.
And one can enrich his knowledge in English by even Mopassil lawyers. If
This
they
is the
read-
main problem, sir, for Bihar, UP and Odisha.
But yeah, I know that.
They have something in their mind but unable to express their.
For them, this one thing, even if they start practicing in whatever court, if they are desirous of moving the higher court, they must come and spend some time just to know the atmosphere, what a judge wants. My senior used to say, don't waste your time in the bar library and chit-chatting or doing politics. If you are free, go to any courtroom, sit there, just see what the judge wants and how the lawyer puts it.
So this is the first message. Go and sit in the court and watch the proceedings.
Yes. Then you know the tactics. Then you can know every judge has his own way of deciding a matter. Some judges are very, very fast, very bright. Some judges are very slow. Even in the Supreme Court, I have seen. I have not here. I have seen in U.S. Supreme Court judges dozing for 2 hours, fully. In the U.S. Supreme Court, we went in a delegation in 2002, and 2 of the judges were sleeping. So I told Mr. Soli Surabji was sitting by my side. He was the Attorney General. I said, Soli, here the judges are saying in Delhi also one or two colleagues were sleeping like that.
Even online also, many judges used to sleep, sir.
So therefore, and I really congratulate you people to having thought and conceiving a project like this.
Law learning bench.
And it is definitely help the younger generation of lawyers who are practicing in far distant places of this country, and in a country like India with so many diversities. It is all the same essential for these lawyers to rise up to the standard, to flourish themselves, to enrich themselves with the art of speaking. But art of speaking is very difficult. I can assure you, unless I do not know, I cannot possibly conceive how one can. I have lawyers from Chandigarh used to come in, very top lawyers in criminal cases, and they were faltering in making their submissions in court. So the judges will have to tolerate that, and particularly I believe when a judge sees that a young lawyer particularly, I think I cannot say 100, but at least to the best of my knowledge, majority of judges tolerate to some extent, but sometimes it becomes intolerable.
Intolerance.
And that is why they flare up. But that is a human temperament. The human temperament. You see, we had a judge in Orissa who was very, very brilliant, but very short-tempered. So the Bar Association decided not to give him a farewell dinner. I was a young lawyer then we decided, okay, Bar Association doesn't give, but let us give. Why should you make a discrimination? So we had organized a farewell for that judge. The judge said, I still remember,
Brilliant.
60 years back, myself and my temper were born as twins. I can't live it, and I have to bear it till my death.
Oh my God.
This I had said once in court when Mr. Santi Bhushan and Venugopal, they were opposing each other, and Santi Bhushan was disturbing Venugopal at every second. So Venugopal said that he is losing his temper.
This is also a tactics, sir. No?
Here,
This is also a tactics.
Yeah, here in Supreme Court.
Oh.
Here in Supreme Court, in our court, I was sitting with Justice Suresh Agarwal, he is no more, from Rajasthan. He was
And Shanti Bhushan and Venugopal is arguing before you.
Venugopal and Santi Bhushan. And so I said that this is what the Chief Justice said. So if he has a temper, he can't leave it. You allow his temper to be there. So and that subsided, that temper. So this is the way of life. And I always say I was probably when we were there were 25 judges, and I was there are maximum myself or one more person whose neither son nor daughter nor son-in-law were a judge, they were a practicing lawyer. So many people, I also wanted my children to, but they wanted to become corporate and they joined some companies and all. So anyway, and
उन्होंने आपका लिगेसी को आगे नहीं ले गए आपकी
नहीं, मैंने कभी इनको आदेश दिया नहीं. I have never imposed. My second son did his law all apart from MBA, and was practicing, was here in Delhi with attached to Rajiv Nair in Delhi High Court.
Rajiv Nair.
He was there for 1 month.
Right now he is senior advocate.
He was then also senior advocate. He has a large number of practice in Delhi High Court. Those days, Delhi High Court, predominantly Arun Jaitley, Rajiv Nair and Mukul Rohatgi. They had a group, and Mukul Rohatgi came to Supreme Court, Arun came to Supreme Court, Rajiv Nair stayed there.
Still he is in...
So only thing I told my son that if you want to practice, go back to Orissa. We have a base there, we have a goodwill there. If you want to practice in Delhi, take another house. Don't, in my official residence quarter, you don't stay.
Great, sir, great.
So, but he probably didn't like to take that risk. Maybe, I don't know. He again joined some company and joined there. So this is how life has goes on.
Yes.
And I always welcome you, whatever way I can help you, I'll do it. But active participation with your project in my age is not possible.
No, sir.
I must tell
Just sometimes after 15 days or 20 days, I take your permission to give some lecture on cross-examinations or how to proceed. And judges actually how to influence the judges.
We shall see. We shall definitely see. I will try my best.
सर एक सवाल और, बहुत सारे हमारे जो हिंदी बेल्ट से आते हैं, बिहार से, यूपी से, उड़ीसा से भी आते हैं, कुछ पंजाब के छोटे शहरों से आते हैं. वो ये जानना चाहते हैं सर कि जब हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट में प्रैक्टिस करते हैं और इवन हाई कोर्ट में, तो उनके मन में होता है कि हमारा फेस वैल्यू नहीं है. नॉलेज तो है उनके पास, बहुत सारे जो एमईटी वगैरह से लड़के आ रहे हैं, सिम्बियोसिस से.
See, however we may say, it is very difficult because our law, we were under colonial British rule for so many years. Our entire law is based on English jurisprudence. We don't have the books or appropriate legal language in the regional languages for those. So how will it be possible to, in smaller places, it may be possible, I don't know, some, but very, even in Uttar Pradesh also, where there was a judge in Allahabad, I am forgetting his name, he is no more. He discussed with a lawyer in Hindi, in the court, in the High Court. His brother judge was from Odisha. So he started discussing with Noria. So he couldn't follow. He said, well, if you can't follow, why should I follow?
Yes.
So you see, we have come from different parts of the
Different parts of India.
Let not
So
the
common
country-
language is English language.
It will happen.
As per Supreme Court rules also.
Until and unless Supreme Court is true, but High Court's not there.
Not there.
But until and unless we develop our laws to that level, where even you can do it in Tamil or Kerala or Karnataka. We have so many, you see, it's a country of different diverse languages. Yes. It is not possible. I can't see as of now, maybe after 100 years, what will happen, God can say that. But as of now, it is very difficult.
Sir, suggest any two most popular ways. What is the court what is the essential things that a young lawyer should keep in mind while addressing the court? कोर्ट को एड्रेस करते समय कोई दो बातों क्या ध्यान में रखना चाहिए?
You see, a lawyer must always have this idea within himself that you are the master of that particular case, either in law or in fact. You are handling one brief, the judge is handling 100 briefs. So necessarily, therefore, you have devoted the entire time on that case. Therefore, you are the best. Never get, you see, one must have righteousness. I had never in my life accepted a statement from a judge that you are unprepared. Never in my life. I have appeared before great judges in Orissa, Calcutta, Andhra Pradesh, as a government lawyer. Never. I never tolerated that.
Sir, in your autobiography, you stated that in your child you become a doctor. Then how can you change this line to
I became a?
you become a doctor?
But how that autobiography is not released here? It is in Orissa. I got it released. How do you know? How could you know that?
Sir, we did some research work.
Acha,
Yes, in your autobiography.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah. You see, why is I started my schooling in my village. So at that time, I had a very soft corner for my village. I wanted to become a doctor and then start practicing in my village to uplift the village condition. But I neglected my studies in intermediate career, so I could not get admission into medical college. After BSc, I got frightened looking at the voluminous books and 5 years course. I was not that studious then, and I never knew that had I known that, probably I might not have become a lawyer, I might have been a clerk somewhere.
Only one question is more lordship. Would you share your first appearance before court? Only one first appearance before
जब
court
पहली बार
in your
कोर्ट में
life.
appear हुए थे,
Who?
when you first time appear before the court as a lawyer, kindly share in few lines that experience. Share with our young lawyers. उसमें आपको कैसा लगा पहली बार जब आप appear हुए?
When I first appeared before a court, it was a second appeal.
क्या experience था सर उसमें? कैसा लगा?
And it was, in those days, second appeal used to be listed for admission before the judge under section 100. And you will have to state I knew the practice because I was a 1 year article in the High Court. So you will have to state the facts, what are the findings and what are your questions. I stated the facts and the findings so well that before I even urged my point, the judge granted leave, admitted that. And that encouraged me. I must tell you, that encouraged me, because the first, second appeal admission in those days, there was a judgment of there was a judge in K.C. Dasgupta from Supreme Court.
Your memory is very strong, sir.
And not wrong. And he had said, finding of facts need not be interfered with, however gross and erroneous it may be. See, the point was, I still remember, the point was a riparian right of villagers to take water from a river, and we were from the downstream villages, and we had filed a suit because on the upstream they used to dig channel and take the water. That was the dispute. We lost in the trial before the trial judge, we lost before the first appellate district judge and second appeal. So the point I urged, still I remember, I never challenged any facts, never challenged any finding, but I said, who can be said to be a riparian owner? Is it the village lands abutting the river, or the land which is situated at a distance of 5 kilometers from the land and the water is being, and that attracted the judge's mind, and we ultimately won that case. I still remember that was my...
Great, sir. So in last, sir,
Yeah.
any message that you would like to give to young lawyers of our law learning bench?
Young lawyers should always be contented with whatever they earn at the initial stage. Don't get disgruntled because your colleagues might be at a better position than you. And in the ultimate race, you will definitely win if you are sincere, if you are honest, and if you observe certain legal ethics. And you serve the society by doing your best, by representing the poor man's case before the highest court of law.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.